Hey, Theodore, no need to stress about swinging by the wedding reception today. You missed out on the ceremony, so it's cool. What I'm saying is, it'd be nicer if you just sat this one out, so don't sweat it, alright? No need to come up with excuses to join in.
Charlotte, is that really you? I'm a bit confused about why you think it would be preferable for me not to come. I've already resolved the work issue, so everything is fine now.
You got the message crystal clear. Since you skipped the ceremony, why bother with the reception, right?
My apologies if I unintentionally gave the wrong idea. I'm sorry if it seemed like I didn't care. But honestly, I was really looking forward to being at the ceremony. Unfortunately, a work emergency popped up that couldn't wait until the next day. If I hadn't handled it immediately, it could have turned into a major disaster. I hope you understand where I'm coming from, right?
Got it. You had something important to take care of. No worries. Seriously. But there's really no need to make an extra effort to make it to the reception. It'll only add to the expenses, and trust me, we're already going to be paying for this for ages. You won't be missing out on anything by skipping the reception. I mean, you already missed the main event, the ceremony. So being here doesn't really make much sense. It's all good.
Did you seriously think I willingly skipped it? I genuinely wanted to be there. I clearly explained that it was completely unavoidable. It was a matter that demanded immediate attention.
Well, if that's how it is, then whatever. I mean, we barely even met once, and it was just for a fleeting moment. I'm marrying your brother, and technically, you're my soon to be brother in law. But let's be real, you're practically a total stranger. Nobody gives a damn if you can't make it. It's all good, alright? So kindly do us all a favor and just don't bother showing up, okay?
I must say this is quite unexpected. You're the type of girl who speaks her mind without hesitation, huh? No filter, just straight to the point. So what's the sudden issue? Did I do something to upset you? I can't think of anything. Did my brother say something that triggered this?
Oh, guess what? We went and did a whole city hall thing yesterday and got our marriage registered. So now, Ben and I are officially hitched. Yours truly, Mrs. William Charlotte. And you know what? I've realized there's no point in faking that sweet little wife act anymore. I'm done with the charade and ready to embrace my true self.
Is that your way of saying this is the real you? Is that what you mean?
I couldn't care less, really. Right now, I have absolutely nothing to say. And let's be honest, I highly doubt we'll have much to talk about in the future either. Am I right?
It's true. We've never really spoken, but
Yeah. So here's the deal. I can totally sense that Ben is utterly embarrassed. So do us all a favor and just don't bother showing up, alright? He's not keen on introducing you to anyone. I hope you can get it through your thick skull.
what? What's that supposed to mean?
Do I have to dumb it down for you? You didn't even manage to finish high school. On one side, we have Ben, who graduated from a prestigious university and is living the high life. And then there's you, a pathetic dropout struggling with 3 dead-end jobs just to keep your head above water.
That's what you really think of me? You just came out and said it. Wow.
Well, guess what? I've always had that sentiment deep down. I just never had the opportunity to say it straight to your face, but now you know. So, no more beating around the bush, right? I'm telling you, don't bother showing up to our reception, got it? And let me make it clear. It's not because of anything Ben said or your dropout status, which is utterly irrelevant anyway. Right from the beginning, I never wanted anything to do with you. Before we seriously considered tying the knot, when Ben mentioned that you hadn't even finished high school, I seriously questioned whether I should even consider marrying him. How could I ever become a part of the illustrious Williams family with a brother-in-law like you weighing me down? But hey, at least Ben's some big shot executive, so I figured marrying him would at least provide financial stability and erase my any money related worries.
Are you saying you just married him for the money?
Oh, please spare me the lecture. Sure, it's not all about the money, but let's be real here. If Ben didn't have a decent job, I wouldn't have even considered marrying him. Obviously, any girl with half a brain would do the same. We all crave stability, and that includes financial stability. I just want to be a pampered housewife, so I need someone who can afford to support me in the lifestyle I desire. It's simple common sense, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. But being a housewife isn't as glamorous as it seems. It may be a dream life for some women, but the reality is that many end up having to work to contribute to the family's financial needs these days. It's not the 1950s anymore. Things have changed.
Oh, of course. How foolish of me to expect someone like you, an unmarried dropout at your age, to comprehend the complexities of a woman's mindset.
You don't have to go that far.
Honestly, when I found out you couldn't make it to the wedding, I breathed a sigh of relief. I wouldn't have to encounter the mortifying dropped out brother in law. Once this whole wedding circus is over, I can happily be the dude to any future encounters with you. I have absolutely no intention of involving myself with you in any way.
Oh, so now you think I'm a complete idiot, huh? And that gives you the green light to spew whatever garbage you want? Well, go ahead. Keep on going. Let it all out. I'm curious, what else do you dislike about me? And pray tell, what's so damn offensive to you about someone who didn't finish high school? What it's got to do with you anyway? Just as you mentioned, we've never even met before. So how on earth did you envision me ruining your precious little wedding? Just by my mere presence? Let me tell you, no one has ever had the audacity to speak to me like this before.
Oh, that's probably because all the losers you hang around with are just a bunch of dropouts and bums, much like yourself. Us classy folks who graduated from the creme de la creme of universities never even have the opportunity to be in the same vicinity as individuals of your lowly status. Birds of a feather, my friend? You bottom feeders can keep to your own sorry little circles while we revel in our exclusive company. I mean, let's face it, if you're all a bunch of dropouts, there's not much material to mock each other with, is there?
Why do you have to talk like that? Looking down on people just because they don't have the same education as you? It's really shallow. I'm starting to worry about my little brother marrying you. Plenty of people have dropped out of high school and go on to have success. Princess Diana left school at 16 and went on to become one of the most loved people in history. Albert Einstein, Richard Branson, Walt Disney. The list goes on.
Wow, look at you, Mr. Genius. I see you're just trying to boost your own ego here. Attempting to justify yourself, huh? Well, let's face the facts. Anyone who couldn't even finish middle school is, by default, a complete idiot. It's a given. Imagine if one of Ben's colleagues tried to engage you in a conversation about economics or politics. You wouldn't have a clue how to hold your own, would you?
Why are you so sure about that?
I just know. It's called women's instincts. We can't risk having some illiterate fool ruining the wedding party. So do us all a favor and don't bother showing up. You would only bring shame upon your poor brother. After all the hard work he's put in to reach his current position, we can't have you dragging him down by mingling with the cream of society. It's just not appropriate. You wouldn't fit in, not in that cheap suit of yours. You know, most people arrive here in their chauffeur-driven limousines. And then there's you, parking your beat-up Toyota or whatever piece of crap you drive next to them. They'll probably assume you're here to rob them and call the police. What a joke.
Wow, you don't hold back. I didn't expect to be spoken to like this by my brother's new wife. But hey, you can tell me to my face. I'm almost at the venue. I'm pulling up in my piece of crap Toyota. I'm actually really sorry I missed my little brother's ceremony. I can't wait to see him.
Oh, absolutely not. Save yourself the trouble and don't bother showing up. Because let's face it, the likes of you, a dropout idiot, wouldn't comprehend a single word spoken here. Trust me, you'll regret stepping foot in this place. I guarantee it.
Don't threaten me, Charlotte. I'm not planning to outstay my welcome. You don't have to be so rude.
Oh, come on, Theodore. Seriously? You're aware that this is my wedding party, right? It's my special day. Can you even attempt to show some respect and consider the wishes of the bride at her own wedding party?
Got it. I won't stay long.
Hey, bro. Are you almost here? Did you sort everything at work? I hope you managed to smooth things over. It sounded like a bit of a disaster.
Can't be helped. It happens from time to time. I'm the only one that can fix it, so I'm used to it. Anyway, I'm really sorry I missed the ceremony.
Nah, don't worry about it, bro. I understand. I'm always having to deal with things here, too. Just last week, I ended up sleeping at my desk. Woke up when the security guard came in at 5 a.m.
Okay. Hey, their reception is about to start, isn't it?
Yeah, I hope you're thirsty. I've had some of your favorite whiskey sent from Aunt Teresa. It's the best.
Oh, hey. I had a few texts from Charlotte just a while ago. She told me not to come today. We had a bit of back and forth. She seemed adamant I didn't show up. She even said she was glad I couldn't make it to the ceremony.
From Charlotte? The problem is that she just doesn't understand what happened. She mentioned she thought you didn't come to the ceremony on purpose. I told her there's no way you would have missed it if there wasn't a really good reason. Maybe she just thinks you won't enjoy it and there's no need to bother you.
Nah, it doesn't sound like that. She was pretty forthwith. Just straight out told me I wasn't welcome. I was pretty shocked, but it's her party. I didn't want to make things worse. I know that would have all come back to you.
How can that be? You've only really ever said hello. I wonder why she went to the trouble of texting you.
Yeah, I didn't even know who it was at first. She just suddenly started messaging me. She wasn't very subtle either. It didn't take her very long to make her feelings clear.
She wouldn't tell you not to come, surely. She's not like that. I wonder what happened. She's not really the nervous type. She handled the ceremony fine.
She hates the fact that I didn't graduate high school. She said I would embarrass you and her. She was clear and said I was illiterate. I was starting to get angry, but I was driving, so I couldn't really respond properly.
Really? I'm sorry, I guess. Sounds strange, but this is the first time hearing about it. It's not something we've ever talked about, I don't think. Oh, she might have mentioned she could never marry someone who hadn't had a higher education. Dunno. Like I said, it's not something you just talk over dinner, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. The overall vibe of her texts was pretty condescending. She called me an idiot. Said I wouldn't understand the conversation and I'd make everything awkward for you. She even called me a dropout bum. To be honest, it's going to be really uncomfortable meeting her again. I'll try and keep my mouth shut. You know me though, I often just can't help myself and put my foot in it.
Jeez. Sorry, Theodore. That's my fault. I haven't really told her anything about your company. She doesn't know anything about you at all. She's just put the few pieces of information she has together and created an image of you based on that. Damn. Sorry. I should have told her. I'll talk to her. I promise.
It's okay, you don't have to apologize. I knew she had nothing to go on and was just forming a false impression of me. I figured with the pressure and nerves of the wedding, she was probably a wreck. I didn't want to be too hard on her, but she completely dismissed me. You should see what she said about my car.
Was it that bad? You probably shouldn't show me. It might cast a dark shadow on the day's proceedings.
She said she'd been pretending to be nice all this time. Well, the gloves were off today. I think you've got a real Punisher on your hands, bro. It doesn't matter. Let's forget about it. You might have time to go over it tomorrow. We should just concentrate on having fun today. I'm looking forward to that whiskey.
You're right. If anything happens, you'll tell me, right? I can't have my own brother feeling uncomfortable at my wedding party. Let's eat, drink, and enjoy ourselves. Charlotte has a few single friends too, by the way. The one who flew in from Spain, Cassandra, I think her name is. You might like. She's your type from what I heard.
My type? You know I don't have a type. Alright then. I'm nearly there. See you in a bit.
Later, bro. Call me when you get here, and we'll have a little drink before going in.
Why are you coming? I told you repeatedly not to come. You didn't get the subtle hints, so I told you directly. Don't come. No one wants you here, and you'll just embarrass yourself and your brother.
I told you I would be there. I promised my brother too. Did you really mean to be so rude? I think you've made a big mistake in your estimation of me. I don't know why you formed such a negative opinion, but you've gotten it all wrong.
Oh, everything's wrong? Really? Pray, enlighten me on what I've supposedly misunderstood. Are you honestly trying to claim that you didn't drop out of school? Am I somehow mistaken and you secretly graduated from an Ivy League university? Wow, my bad. If that's the case, I might actually listen to your blabber. Perhaps you studied in England, huh? Oxford, maybe? Or was it Cambridge? Come on. Do tell me how I managed to mess up so royally. I'm all ears.
No, the part about me not finishing school is correct. You haven't made any mistakes there.
Exactly right. So what I said about you being here not being appropriate was spot on.
Do you mind if we have a little talk? I can clear up the misunderstanding. Would that be all right?
What? I'm not talking to some dropout loser. Why would I stoop so low as to listen to you? Oh, okay, if you must. But let's make it somewhere where no one can see me talking to you. I'd hate for them to think we were anything other than unfortunate in-laws. Come to the fountain outside, the one with the horses' sculptures.
Roger. See you there.
Oh, look who decided to crash our wedding party. How utterly audacious of someone in your lowly social standing. Did you honestly think you'd have the privilege to attend an event like this? It's only because your dear brother has a soft spot for you that you even got an invitation in the first place. And now that you've been unceremoniously pushed into the fountain, do you finally grasp your place? You can't waltz into the reception dripping wet like some pathetic spectacle. So do us all a favor and get the hell out of here. You're not welcome. And we have no interest in tolerating your presence any longer.
What the hell were you thinking pushing me in the water fountain? I thought we were going to have a talk. You're marrying my brother, damn it. You could have at least listened to me.
Oh, Please, spare me your drivel. I couldn't care less about what someone like you has to say. So why don't you do us all a favor and drag your story? Soaking wet self out of here? Just go home where you belong. We have absolutely zero interest in having your pitiful presence ruin our gathering.
You're going to regret this.
Oh, you really think you can talk back to me, you pathetic dropout? Well, let me make it crystal clear for you. I want absolutely nothing to do with you from now on. Consider yourself permanently banished from my life. Goodbye and good riddance.
Oh, I see. You've made your choice, have you? Well, fine. Have it your way. But mark my words, I warned you about the consequences of your actions.
Really, I'm very sorry. I just talked to Ben and he told me all about you. I really did have it completely wrong. I don't know what got into me. How could I have known that you were the president of the company Ben works for?
That's why I asked you to talk to me. But you chose to push me in the fountain to avoid a talk altogether. Pretty childish, Charlotte. If you can't even sit down and talk to someone, hear them out. Well, you're no better than an animal.
I'm really sorry. Truly sorry, Theodore. I mean, Mr. Williams. But nobody told me about the company. I mean, I knew the boss was a Mr. Williams, but Ben never mentioned that it was his brother. So I just thought it was a coincidence. Or perhaps an uncle? If I'd known, I wouldn't have been so rude to you. Please, forgive me.
That is probably true, but you showed your true feelings. It's good to know how you really feel about people like me. Of course, I'll do exactly as you suggested and have nothing to do with you after today. And I think right about now, my brother is saying the same thing, isn't he?
Yes, he is. I didn't think he'd be so furious about me telling his brother to go home.
That's not all though, is it? I'm appalled that you would look down on someone in such a shallow and scathing way just because they don't have the same education as you. I bet you even look down on university graduates if they didn't go to the same school as you. In your opinion, anyone who didn't go to an Ivy League university is probably an idiot.
I am deeply sorry, but in my defense, Ben said nothing about you starting your own company and having so much success.
In your defense? What defense? The fact that you didn't hear about it is proof that you don't really have much interest in Ben at all. The only way you couldn't know about it is if you didn't ask. It's all part of you being selfish and only interested in money and yourself. You're only interested in his money. You said yourself you wanted to be a housewife. Most families can't afford that these days. Only the wives of the wealthy can afford to do nothing.
But money is one of the most important factors in a successful marriage. Everyone knows that. You're lucky you were able to find success after not even finishing high school. And I'm lucky to have married Ben.
I think you'll find my brother is having second thoughts about marrying you. You'll need to talk it over with him.
Oh, come on, Mr. Williams. Please, don't let him back out. Let's patch things up and have a fresh start. You've got to convince Ben to stay with me. I couldn't stand the shame of an annulment.
You just said that money is an important factor, right? Well, I think you'll find that a woman who values family as an essential factor is more important to Ben.
I truly understand now the importance of family, and I vow to make it my top priority. I had no idea how close you and Ben were, and I deeply regret my previous actions. From this moment forward, the entire Williams family will be my utmost consideration. I humbly ask for your forgiveness and the chance to make amends. Please, find it in your heart to forgive me.
Ben and I are in contact all the time, but we are the only children in the family and we're close. We've got a brotherly respect and we've certainly got each other's backs when it comes to someone insulting one of us or the family. I also have no problem with leaving him to manage large parts of the company. He's extremely competent and it's good having family members I can trust at work. But I'm telling you, Charlotte, I can't agree to my brother spending the rest of his life with someone like you. That's for sure. There's no way a lowlife like you will ever make a husband happy. Afterward, Theodore chose to completely disregard Charlotte's persistent texts and phone calls. Despite her desperate pleas for forgiveness, the damage she had inflicted upon her own reputation was beyond repair. Ben firmly expressed his desire to annul the marriage and cut off all ties with Charlotte. Theodore arranged for his secretary to bring a change of clothes, and the brothers departed in Theodore's limousine, accompanied by the Scottish whiskey. Meanwhile, Charlotte stubbornly clung to her biased beliefs regarding those with a lesser education, but she failed to find true happiness in the end.